marvel at some of the smallest athletes in all of sports that you have seen for many, many years. The female gymnasts, some of them only 4'5", 4'10" tall. It's a special meet, though, not just any meet. The United States against the Soviet Union. The Soviets, the current world champions. They've dominated the sport except for sparkling moments by Nadia and Mary Lou over the years since 1960. But just how good are the Americans? Well, we'll see today. Christy Phillips, already on the cover of Sports Illustrated, is one of the American stars, as is her training teammate from Illinois, Phoebe Mills. How good are the Soviets? Very good, and they are ready, and we'll have it for you later live from Denver. For now, let's go back to the Upper West Side of Manhattan for my co-host today, Becky Dixon.
The constant variety of sport, the thrill of victory, and the agony of defeat. The human drama of athletic competition. This is ABC's Wide World of Sports.
Brought to you by Budweiser, Beechwood aged with that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you. By John Deere and your local John Deere dealer. By Armor Rigby, Comanche and Redmond.
That was the past, and this is the present in the sport of gymnastics. There are 8,084 seats at the Denver Coliseum. They are all sold, and we are live. The United States against the Soviet Union. After two events, the vault and the uneven bars, the United States is trailing by 1 point. Just whether they have enough time to come back is the question. This is Al Troutwig along with Kathy Rigby McCoy, and we now go to the balance beam where Hope Spivey from Allentown, Pennsylvania, is ready to mount. Kathy, a quick comment about the standing. The 1 point. Is it too much to make up?
Well, it's quite a bit to make up, but they could do it. The balance beam, the most precarious event of all. The girls are a little bit stressed at this time. Quite a few misses, not only from the Americans, but also from the Soviets. So Hope hopes to get going here and really make a good showing for the Americans. Now, the interesting thing about Hope, 2 years ago, she was a Class 2 gymnast, and she's come all the way to the elite level and has been very strong for us. It's an especially significant meet for these Americans in that they would like to rebuild their reputation after the last World Championships. This will get the momentum going for October when they go to the World Championships again, so it's very important for them. So far, she's moving extremely well. Gainer layout, little slight bobble there.
We should point out that Hope is not the first competitor on the beam, and it has proven to be a problem for many of the competitors who have already gone. We've seen a few falls and slips.
And there are many young Russian athletes here too, and they are also preparing for the World Championships and Olympics, and this gives them the experience of international competition. Hope is moving a little bit cautiously. And getting ready for a dismount. A bit long on that pause there. Round off, double back, and she nails the landing.
Beautiful dismount by Hope Spivey, who at age 12 moved and left home to go to Allentown, Pennsylvania, and train with a team known as the Parkettes there.
This is a tricky dismount. You have to land both feet square on that balance beam, get enough distance so that you don't hit your head on that balance beam and not too far so you can get the rotation going around and a good landing.
And now those nervous moments where you wait for the four judges to decide how good you really were. You throw out the high and the low scores and average the middle two. Already we have had some surprises in who is doing well. It's not only Christy Phillips and Phoebe Mills. Phoebe had a bad problem on the uneven bars, and it's been Joyce Wilborn and Missy Marlowe, two gymnasts we hope we'll get a chance to show you today, who have been surprising with their great results here this afternoon in Denver. As we wait for Hope Spivey's score, we will step away from our live coverage of this dual meet between the United States and the Soviet Union. We do have the score. 9.75. A good result for her, and much more to come from Colorado. Matter of fact, I liked it so much, I paid $4 for this one, and I'll be bringing it on home. You like it?
I love it.
We are live at the Denver Coliseum, where we have seen one perfect 10 on the part of the gymnasts here. It was the Soviet gymnast, Natalia Frolova, on the vault. Tell us about it, Kathy.
Well, she started out like gangbusters. You know, she took third in this competition last year, and she really wanted to come out strong here, and she did it with a Yurchenko with a full twist. Perfect position. Off the horse, look at those legs, way above the horse there. Lands and does not move at all. And you can't get much better than that.
Natalia Frolova from the beautiful city of Leningrad, where I'm sure springtime is just wonderful right now. The only perfect 10 we've seen so far. We take you now to New York, where Becky Dixon is standing by. Becky? There is 6 times more mountainous area in Colorado than in Switzerland. And off in the distance, you can see some of the snow-capped Rocky Mountains. And if you get on Interstate 70 in Pennsylvania and head west, young man, you'll eventually reach Denver and the Memorial Coliseum, which is where we are today, continuing our coverage of the United States and the Soviet Union in this dual meet. A slight change in the scoring after 2 events. The United States does not trail by a full point, but by .85, the vault and the uneven competition having already been completed. Now, the all-around competition features 2 of the Soviet gymnasts on top. Natalia Frolova with a perfect 10 on the vault, and Svetlana Buganskaya in second. Missy Marlowe of Salt Lake City, the 14-year-old, having just fallen in her beam attempt, so she will fall, no doubt, from 3rd place in the all-around standings. Now, getting ready to mount the balance beam is Phoebe Mills from Northfield, Illinois, training with Bella Caroli down in Houston. And what an important routine this is for her, Kathy Rigby-McCoy, because of what happened to her on the uneven bars.
Yes, you know, Phoebe is really very talented physically. In fact, as talented as Christy Phillips, but many times the pressure has gotten to her. And so this event, a precarious event, almost of all of the events, is going to be a real test of her nerves again. She begins with a head spring mount as soon as the judges are ready. Score from the previous gymnast up right now. I've noticed on the beam, all the girls are feeling that pressure, not just the Americans. Very nice mount. Handspring walkout mount. Second move there. She knows she has to perform well here. 2 back, head back handspring, 2 layouts. Solid as a rock.
Things look to be going very smoothly for the former national speed skating champion.
Yes, she's only been in the sport 6 years. Gainer layout there. Tremendous strength. Watch this. Great arch. Shades of Christy Phillip there. Shoulder stand. Great originality right here. Very nice. Back roll extension. She doesn't seem to be feeling the nerves right now. Let's see if she can hold on. Sometimes when you fall, it almost relieves some of the pressure, and you know you just have to go out and do the best you can at that point. Front flip. Extremely difficult move. It is called a D move. In gymnastics, there are A, B, C, and D moves, D being the most difficult.
She has this very young crowd in Denver very much behind her.
Here's her dismount. She shouldn't pause more than 2 seconds. Round off, double back, a little bit of a step on the end, a couple of tenths possibly. Good comeback from her uneven bar routine.
Kathy, you're not kidding.
What a relief.
Looking ahead to tomorrow as we wait for the score, we can tell you it's going to be quite a day on ABC Sports. First of all, the Big I, the Houston Open. The final round, Buddy Gardner and Dan Forsman tied after the 3rd at 10 under par. Then we'll be back for the men's competition in this USSR dual meet. Yuri Korolev, fabulous team of Soviets, and Scott Johnson for the United States. And then Mutual of Omaha's Spirit of Adventure presents a first ever rafting challenge. I wish I did this, a 1,000-mile journey down China's treacherous upper Yangtze River. It's all tomorrow on ABC Sports. This was moments ago on ABC Sports.
Very difficult front flip. Those shoulders, hips, and feet have to stay right in line. You almost see her miss her left foot there. Did very well.
9.85. That will enhance the confidence of Phoebe Mills. The United States can use every point they can get. There have been many stumbles on the balance beam, and the standings could very well change now. We'll be back in a moment. One of the toughest things you can say about an athlete is that they have potential. It's up to them then to fulfill it. That is the problem now for Christy Phillips. All the potential in the world. We'll see how she looks in a moment on the balance beam. Kathy Rigby McCaw asked her, with all the pressure, with all the training, how does she relax?
Usually, you know, on Saturday nights or Sundays, you know, I like to go to church. I'm really into my, you know, I'm a Christian, and I really enjoy going to Sunday school with my youth director. He's the greatest. His name is Mick Stockwell, and you know, he's just really a lot of fun, and he makes life worthwhile.
Christy Phillips, born in Baton Rouge, currently living in Houston, Texas, in what amounts to a sorority house of young gymnasts.
And I want you to pay special attention to this mount. Watch this. Now she does this handstand and arches all the way over and stands. No one has ever done that particular move on the balance beam before. It will probably be named after her.
I mentioned this is a very young crowd in Denver, sold out, by the way. You might be able to hear some of those young voices screaming out, "Come on, Christy, come on, Christy."
Down up back ladder. Little bobble there, not bad. Many say that this is her event. This is the event that she has potential in the Olympics to win a gold medal on. 2 scissor leaps. All this, and she's an honor student. Here's another move. Watch this. A planche. Straddle position. This is Christy's trademark. I might mention I asked Jack Rockwell, the national team trainer, about this particular move, and he said that the reason she can bend like she does is she has more space in those vertebrae in her back to be able to do this. A side flip. However, he doesn't know what will happen later in life.
4'10", 80 pounds, and that's with those extra spaces in her vertebrae.
Now it's her dismount. Round off, double pike, good landing, excellent routine. She has that competitive spirit you can't teach. Shoulders, hips, right over that beam. No trouble at all. And her dismount. Round off double back. She is relieved at this point, but still very much in control. Double pike. She really has to pull this around because she's dropping quickly there and has no problem.
Looks like our judges are having a conference.
We are told that the judges are having a conference now about the score for Christy Phillips. She had that one little wobble in the middle and that one little step at the end. We're going to step away from the Denver Coliseum and be back in a moment. Quite a conference going on. Young gymnast Christy Phillips waiting to see what her score is. Her coach, Bella Caroli, who coached Mary Lou Retton. So many other great gymnasts before defecting to the United States, where he now lives in Texas.
Damn it.
Conference going on, as we mentioned. Bella, by the way, has become a complete Romanian cowboy. He has a bull on a ranch by the name of Gorbachev and some cattle, cowboy boots, and a big Western belt buckle to go with it. Here's Christy's mount, Kathy.
Well, it's just phenomenal. She has tremendous strength. When she's in the handstand and she's bending all the way over, she has such unbelievable control. And when you think about that balance beam only being 4 inches wide, there's not much room for mistake here. She really lets her chest lean to one side of the beam and counterbalances it with her knees. Look at that. Not many people could do that, even if they were a gymnast.
A quick word about the Soviet team that is here. While they are a formidable bunch, they are missing their 2 stars, the 2 most dominant female gymnasts in the world today, Oksana Omelianchik and Elena Shushinova. Where are they?
Well, they're preparing back in Moscow for the European Championships, which is a very important meet to all the European athletes, especially when you think of the World Championships coming up in October.
2 Soviet judges, 2 American judges, and then a supervising judge who is from Canada. And right now, we continue to wait. Once again, a quick look ahead to tomorrow, 4:30 Eastern Time, 3 o'clock Central and Pacific. The United States and the Soviet Union, a gymnastics special of the men. It'll be live, except on the West Coast, from Denver, Colorado. Scott Johnson for the United States, Yuri Korolev for the Soviet Union. very, very talented gymnasts tomorrow on ABC Sports.
You know, Al, it's very impressive. Christy is so young. He's getting on Jackie Pye there.
We have a microphone on Bella. We may be able to hear some of his comments here, although he is...
He's saying it's ridiculous. That's what most coaches say during the judges' conference.
While we were away on a commercial, he said to Christy Phillips, you wobbled a little bit, but you smiled when you did it. That's the good point.